Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Roughie's Football Show, sponsored by Arnold Clark. I'm Peter Martin, Alan Ruff, Tam McManus and Charlie Adam here with me, ready to react to some of your opinions, but of course to bring you all our opinion on some of the stories breaking today and looking ahead to the weekend's football as well in the Scottish Premiership, the Championship, and of course League One and League Two. Boys back training, looking forward to playing shortly. We'll also be discussing, of course, what's happening down south in the English Premier League too. So that's why it's called The Football Show. If you get a chance, hit the follow button on our Facebook, and you can share the stream, which we'd be delighted if you can do that. And if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and join the football family. Simple as that. Tam, desperate to know, what top is that you've got on? I haven't seen that one before.
No, you probably wouldn't, Peter. We went to Hibs. We went to Trinidad with Hibs about 21 years ago, and we played W Connection, who were the Trinidad champions. And after the game, they presented every player of the squad with one of their strips with our name and number in the back. So I actually dug this out last night when I was looking for something in my cupboard, and I found this strip. So it's W Connection. It's the Trinidad champions for 21 years ago.
Wow, not many people will have that one, Roughie. I mean, that is utterly unique in this neck of the woods.
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah.
Did you play against him on Trinidad?
Yeah.
I went to Trinidad and Tobago with a Scotland over 40 team, and we played in that stadium. And I thought it was a nice jersey, so I bought it. But I don't wear it or anything like that. I bought it. It was a fantastic place. It was really good. They love their football, and it was just a great place to be.
You're at the wind up. You're at the wind up.
No, ask. I'll tell you who could back my story up. Big Davy McPherson. We were short of a centre half, and I phoned up Big Davy to see if he would like to go on a wee trip to Trinidad and Tobago, and the big man came along with us, and he had a great time.
Yeah,
I bet you did.
Excellent, well done. Yeah, absolutely. Trinidad and Tobago, fantastic. Wish we could all go there now, Roughie. Hi to Andy Kilpatrick, he's in Fraserburgh. Brian Roberts as well. Kenny Whitson, Shane Johnson. So many people joining us on the programme. I like to try and give as many people as possible. Callum Reynolds, Graham Doherty, lots of people who tune in on Facebook and YouTube. So thank you very much for your support. I want to say a happy birthday to Tommy Smith from Motherwell. That's from his long-term pal, Tom Vincent, who's out there in Hong Kong. Can't be with him today. Obviously, they would have gone to Fir Park and had a wee celebration for his birthday. So well done, Tommy Smith. Hope you have a great birthday. And, of course, lots of your mates have mentioned that they are younger than you. There's nothing worse than you being the oldest person, Roughie, and all your mates are younger than you. That is a blow and a half, isn't it?
Well, I just have to deal with it on this show. So just going on with it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're the wise one, of course. And, of course, as Tam and I have got a new nickname for you now, which is Cheater. Simple as that, because he waits, Charlie, till we post. He waits till we post our predictions, Charlie, and then he analyses them and then puts his predictions in.
He puts them into the calculator.
Charlie, you can tell what's happened. The bold Roughie kept up with the points, and they're getting a wee bit twitchy now.
Yeah, I'll tell you
the
one
last
person
sentence
who's not
to Cheltenham.
Yeah,
just coming up that hill.
Yeah, you're absolutely 100% correct. One man is not getting chits in any way. Techi is, of course, and twitching, of course, is Steven Gerrard, the Rangers manager, because Rangers are getting ever closer now to winning that title. They are getting within touching distance of lifting the trophy. And Steven Gerrard has been named Manager of the Month. And who can argue with it, Charlie? Everything is rosy. It's all looking good towards the end of the season. I don't think anybody can argue with his award.
No, I don't think they can. They still undefeated at home. I think they conceded 2 or 3 goals at home, and the record's been impeccable. So, they'll be looking tomorrow to notch another one up and put themselves within that 0.1% that he's talking about. because it's 99.9% nearly done. And he had a smile on his face this morning. He was seemed in a good mood. Obviously, the pressure is off, and what an opportunity to now realise what's actually going to happen, to stop 10 in a row and become the first manager in over 10 years, obviously, to win a league title was phenomenal. And when he wraps that up, then he'll realise what it is to be a Rangers manager.
Yeah, I don't think he's caring just as long as they get over the line.
Totally respect the fact that some fans might want to win it this way or might want to win it that way, but I don't think anyone will be complaining when we actually get this over the line. The important thing is to get that trophy back, get 55, knock all the 54s off the walls, change them. That's the main thing for me, and really add to the wonderful history at this club. That's the key. If it happens on Sunday, if it happens in April or May, I don't care as long as it happens.
I think one thing that has to be pointed out here, Tam, and I think maybe sometimes it gets lost among people who have got opinion right across, whether it's radio, television, or the written press. Rangers have won the title. I think there's quite a few people saying, Celtic have gifted them, have thrown it away, or they've imploded, or whatever. Rangers have won the title because, only St Mirren have defeated them in a League Cup match. They've been relentless. They've played good football. And their manager, who was under pressure, started the season with a lot at stake, has guided them with his backroom team, to the top of the table, and they have not looked back.
Yeah, Peter, I think they thoroughly deserve to win the title. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Rangers have won it. I think they've only had 4 draws. And dropped 8 points in a whole league campaign. It's phenomenal. So it didn't really matter what Celtic done, to be honest. The Rangers have been that good. They've won the league in a canter. They've started the season strongly. They've put Celtic under pressure, and Celtic couldn't handle that pressure. It's something that Celtic have done to Rangers over the last few years. They've got off to a fast start, and put points on the board, and Rangers have been playing catch up. They've not been able to handle it, and it's the same this season. Celtic have not been able to claw back that deficit. So Rangers totally deserve to win the title this season, and I think they've won it rather than Celtic have lost it. And I think Rangers need to take a lot of credit for the way they've played as well.
Yeah, and the other aspect of this, which is a real gauge, Roughie, head-to-head, when they got together, Rangers were the better team.
Yeah, I think the facts are there for everybody. There's just been a roller coaster this year. I mean, Celtic did it one year, Rangers have done it this year, and you're right. You can't take anything away from them. There's no excuses at all from anybody else. It's just all been about Rangers this year. Every game they went into in a professional mode, and they've won the games all quite comfortably. I think they've been tremendous this year.
Yep, it's getting closer. If Celtic slip up against Dundee United, Rangers will know they're champs, but they've got a big game coming up against St Mirren. Who's been the standout for you, Charlie, in that Rangers side? There's been lots of really good individual performances at times, but has there been a consistent man in your mind?
Well, I think Tavernier's going to get a lot of the plaudits because of what he's done for a right back has been phenomenal. Not just this season, but I think the numbers that he's produced since he come into the door at Rangers. He had a little sticky spell at the start where some fans were on his back, but the numbers he's turned into. But I always like to see experienced players, because I'm an experienced player myself now coming to the end. It's how your McGregors, your Davises and they're dictating the game. And that's the big thing, McGregor's form has been outstanding for a goalkeeper at 39 years of age, has been phenomenal. Davis, day in, day out, trains, never has a day off, trains the same as every other lad, gets no special treatment, but seems to turn up on a Saturday. And even when it's not going well for Rangers, he seems to be still the one that's consistent to be playing well. And he's that little cog in the wheel that just keeps turning it over, always in the right position. And when you have experienced players like that who have been through the run of the mill with winning championships, that's priceless. And I think Steven Davis has got to get a special mention because, what he's done there is just keeping that whole group together in midfield. Arfield's come in, Jack's come in, Aribo, Kent. They've all produced at different moments, but Davis has been there day in, day out for the whole season, and he's been phenomenal for me.
Yeah, and you just wonder how many miles he's still got left in the old legs. Well, he says he hopes to be there next season to try and do it all again.
I don't tend to look too far ahead. Listen, I feel good at the minute. It's clear to see them enjoying my football. How could you not in the season that we've had so far? So I don't see myself finishing up at the end of the season. I think my approach has been the same as the club's. It's been trying to concentrate on football first and foremost and get ourselves into a position first.
Yep, it's Rangers against St Mirren this weekend, and Stephen Gerrard at this moment is looking at this game and realises that St Mirren, with their record against both Celtic and Rangers, will be confident.
Forward to it. It'll be a tough test. We know they'll be a stubborn team and difficult to play against. They'll have confidence because they've already won away, in Glasgow. Recently, so they're going to come with the tails up and ready to try and cause an upset again. And then they're the only team that have managed to beat us this season. So we're ready for that challenge. We're looking forward to it.
I think when you're at that point where you're so close, Tam, you're within touching distance, the adrenaline, I mean, they haven't had any nerves at all. So I get the feeling they could go out there and really put a show on. I've gone for 3-0.
Yeah, listen, I think that Rangers are obviously within touching distance of getting that title, and I think they'll win the game tomorrow. I think it'll be tighter. As I said, St Mirren they've beat Rangers this season, they beat Celtic this season. I've been pretty impressed with them. They've still got top six. They've still got to get, I think, maybe a result for somewhere to get into the top six. So I don't think they'll get it tomorrow at Ibrox, but I think it'll be a tight game. I've went for Rangers 2, St Mirren 1.
Charlie?
I think it'll be professional, like you said. I'm not going to go 3. I think it'll be 2-0, and they'll be looking forward to Sunday, seeing what happens.
Cheater?
Well, I think St Mirren obviously have St Mirren have got a wee bit to play for, obviously top 6 position, but I agree with Tam. I don't think they'll get in to help them tomorrow. I think, like Charlie, I think Rangers will go about their job professionally, and I'm going to go 2-0 Rangers.
Yeah, okay. Jim Goodwin clinging on to the fact that indeed the Saints are the only team to have defeated Rangers this season.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, obviously we've beaten Rangers in the League Cup a couple of months back. I think we're the only team in Europe at the moment who's been able to do that. So, we're very proud of that, and of course we would. It would make it even more special if we could go to Ibrox and get a win in the league. But like I said, I mean, they've won every game at Ibrox in the league. I think I'm right in saying they've only conceded a couple of goals in all of those games. So there's nobody needs to tell us how difficult that's going to be.
Yep, so we've given a prediction on that. You can give us your thoughts on it. Lots of people offering what they think the score is going to be on this one. Maureen Linton says 3-1 to Rangers. So it's Rangers against St Mirren. And I think, I don't know how they do it, but there's quite a lot of people somehow manage, Charlie, to get fireworks pretty close to the stadium and let them off on a consistent basis. Just have the feeling that they might be within Ibrox tomorrow letting fireworks off again.
Yeah, I think there could be, Peter. They played European game last week, and obviously I'm not too far from Ibrox, and they were just everywhere. They were gone mad. And that just, same against Livingston the other night, 55th minute. They brought the fireworks out. But listen, you're going to get it. It's no, as long as, at the moment there's, they're not causing any havoc or causing any problems. I think that at the moment, how can you stop it? It's going to be difficult. But, I think from now to the end of the season, every game Rangers play, there's going to be a celebration because, they've been waiting a long time, and this is a big number, and it's been a big process the last couple of years, since the manager came in to now where they are, and they're in touching distance, and I think they'll celebrate this one.
Yeah, the only problem I have, Tam, with this is where did they get the fireworks? Was it a guy who owns a fireworks shop, who's a big Rangers fan, and he thought, I'll store these and then take them midway through the season or towards the tail end? I'm dying to know, because all the shops are shut. Or was it somebody who was thinking to himself, well, I didn't get a chance to do it round about Guy Fawkes night, so I'll hang on to them for later on in 2021. Either way, certainly Rangers fans.
Maybe a replacement like golf, telling them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they must be doing it out at the back of a lorry because there's not any shops open, to be honest with you. But nevertheless, all a bit of good banter on it. Thanks to Nicky Twig's 8-year-old granddaughter, who did say to him just only moments ago, "How old is Tam? There's no way he's 20 years of age." So there you are, Tam. You've obviously got that young, boyish look that even Nicky's granddaughter's having a look and wondering why you're on the show.
Still got a twinkle, Peter, and Botox is a great thing as well. It really is.
Absolutely.
It saved my life 10 years after me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all need to go for it then. Dundee United against Celtic is on the Sunday, Roughie. No surprise, John Kennedy speaking today just mentioned the fact that the players all want to make sure that there's no slip-ups in this one.
It might be, but again, we can't worry about what might be going on elsewhere or how it might affect anybody else. We've got to think about ourselves all the time, and that's where we're at. Ultimately, Rangers are sitting in a very strong position. And if we were sitting in that position, we'd be comfortable. We'd be feeling confident. So we've got to part that. We've got to think about ourselves in terms of, right, okay, face up to the season. This is the way it's been. But what do we do going forward?
Yeah, so they've got to go to Tannadice and try and get a result. And of course, some of the stories, just to, again, yet another one today about a player who could be on his way, Leicester City. The old Celtic boss, Brendan Rodgers, Roughie, sniffing about for Edouard. 15 million is the figure that's been quoted. That would be a bargain if they got him for 15. Well, that's what I was thinking. I wonder if people just go into a darkened room and throw a dart at the dartboard. 15 million, Roughie?
Yeah, I don't think Celtic will be letting them go for 15 million. I think there'll be teams in Europe would fancy him a lot more than that, but you've got to start somewhere to say no, and that's probably where it will start. But I think Brendan Rodgers knows the quality that he's got, but and he's starting to show it in certain games now, and I think he'll be a big player for now at the end of the season. I think he's got something to play for now if he's got to score goals, so people take notice of him, and I think that's what he'll do tomorrow. I think he'll score again tomorrow. I think it'll be a very narrow win. I'm going to go for Celtic to win 2-1.
Oh, and that's similar to me. I've gone 2-1. Charlie, what's your thoughts on United? Can they provide yet another surprise result that rocks Celtic?
I think if United have to do something, if they want to try and get into this top six, I don't think they will. But I think there'll be a draw. I think it'll be 1-1, and it'll be time to celebrate for the Rangers players and the staff. Tannadice always a tough place to go, and I don't see any different on Sunday.
Yeah, 1-1. That would just put the tin lid on it, and I think Sunday night, if that was the case, Tam, there'd be more than a few Rangers fans out on the street, socially distancing, of course.
Yep, I think that Rangers will. I think they'll win the league this weekend as well. I think that Celtic will drop points. I think it will be 2 each. And I think that Rangers will have the champagne on ice ready to celebrate. And I think they'll win the league this weekend. So I'm going to go for Celtic 2, Dundee United 2.
Yep, I think most of the Celtic fans are at that point where they think Edouard will be on it.
My missus has already got the champagne on ice to celebrate this weekend.
Is she a Rangers fan? Is she a Rangers fan, Tam?
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
I didn't know that. Obviously,
a lot of green in your house.
Can't be perfect.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Charlie, there is a lot of green in his house. I mean, my wife also is a Rangers fan, but she won't see the game because I've thrown the key away in the cupboard. So she's not. She's
the dungeon.
She's not even getting out. So I'm just putting a plate, Roughie, of food underneath the door. That's enough for you. Tide yourself over. Anyway. Well done, Tam.
So we'll be checking your house for fireworks tomorrow night as well.
Well, you'll never believe it. There's the amount of people on here saying that we can sell you fireworks, but we only have red, white, and blue. Unfortunately, the area I live in, Tam, if somebody let off fireworks, most people in our street would return fire. Anyway, as far as
duck, a few gangsters.
Steady boy, you'll have a big horse's head in your bed in the morning. As far as Edouard's concerned, is he Here's what John Kennedy had to say.
no doubt there'll be interest in Hodgson, you know, as there was last season and all his time he's been here because of one of the talent he's got, you know, but ultimately the club will do the right thing for themselves and the club and everything else. But we want to keep him for as long as we can because of the talent he's got and the ability he's got, because having a player like him in your squad, you know, only makes you better. But ultimately there comes a point, you know, whether it be contractually or the player's motivation, everything else, you have to sit down and address that. And that'll be done in the summer.
Yeah. Roughie, how would you assess Dundee United? I mean, everybody's had their tuppence worth on, you know, Celtic and Rangers and their performances. How would you assess United under Mickey Mellon?
Yeah, I think Mickey Mellon's still trying to figure out what is the way to play this league. You know, he started off at the beginning of the season and they were getting beat 4-0, 3-0. So he's tore that page up and went, okay, we're going to be a lot harder to beat. And then in the middle of the season, they started getting nothing eaches and one eaches, and you know, they started getting some wins, and he went, oh, well, here we go, this is the way ahead. And then he ripped up that page and then started again and had a couple of bad results. I mean, a couple of seriously bad results. So I think this year's all about a lesson for him, you know, in what way to approach this league, because they certainly got some good players there, particularly in the forward areas. So I think it's just a matter of, you know, getting the right formation and the right players on the park.
Yeah. Okay, let's switch our attention from obviously the title celebrations. Lots of people giving us their thoughts on this weekend and whether Rangers are going to win it, with Celtic slipping up against Dundee United, or all roads lead to Celtic Park for that match. Rangers a chance to really get the party started at Celtic Park against Celtic in the Old Firm match. Anyway, it's all about opinions. We're getting ever closer to it. Aberdeen against Hamilton. Aberdeen fourth at the moment, 4 points behind third place Hibernian and Tam. But Hibs have that game in hand.
Yeah, listen, I think it's going to go to the wire. I think they've obviously got difficult games coming up. In terms of Aberdeen tomorrow, I think it'll be a tough game, but I think it's a game that Aberdeen will win. I think they'll win the game. Hamilton are on a good run at the minute. Unlucky not to pick up 3 points during the week. Aberdeen have got a great record against Hamilton, particularly at Pittodrie. So I think I went for 2-1, the Aberdeen.
Yeah, I've gone for 2-1 as well, Tam. Roughie, what have you gone for in this game?
No, what used to have went for anyway. There'll be no point in me going 2-1. So I think this is a must-win for Aberdeen. I'm going to go Aberdeen to win 2-0.
Yeah, and of course, Bruce Anderson won't be able to play in this match, Charlie, because of the loan deal,
no.
Which is a blow. But nevertheless, I still think you know, it's a real bonus for Aberdeen in that match, Charlie.
Yeah, no, he's done well since he's gone there, getting the opportunity to play through as a central striker. You know, caused Rangers problems a few weeks ago at Hamilton. So no, it's going to be a tough one. It's a tough one for Hamilton to go there and get anything. I think Aberdeen will win 2-0.
Yeah. Okay. Just out of curiosity on the situation at the bottom end there. Two things I was going to ask. First of all, Tam, I've got my gut feeling is telling me that this is the last season that Derek might be the Aberdeen boss. I think he might be looking. I think in the summer they might look for a change. He might want to go to pastures new. That's just my gut feeling. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, Peter. I think that he's going to be a bit stale there. I think that the supporters and the McManus, I think the relationship's deteriorated, and I just think for everyone concerned, I don't think he's got the full support of the chairman either, Peter. I know he was very close to Stuart Milne, but I don't think he's got that same rapport with the new guy, Cormac. So I think he'll be away, and I think Aberdeen will look to try and freshen it up in the summer and try and go again under different direction. I think Derek has done a great job at Aberdeen. I think he'll get a job, maybe somewhere in England. So he maybe just have to bide his time over the summer. But I think, yeah, I agree with you. I think he'll be away.
Yep. Hi to lots of people are joining us. Andrew Davison as well, who joins us a little later than normal. Don't worry about it, Andrew. You haven't missed too much. Roughie's been cheating with his score predictions. Other than that, we've all been enjoying ourselves. Lots of people again, and I think it just shows you, you know, how caring we have an audience, Charlie. They're all wishing you the best, and hopefully you're on the road to recovery. How are you feeling now?
Good. Come out of isolation on Sunday, so it's I'm looking forward to it. Actually, it's been a tough few days, and you know, it's obviously something you got to deal with, and look forward to the rest of the season. Obviously, a game Tuesday now is off, so give me a good week to prepare for. I think it's Arbroath at home next Saturday, so tough one for the lads tomorrow, and we've obviously got to go there and get something to try and push ourselves back up the table. And Hearts are a good side, being quite formidable at home. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out and being able to do normal life again.
Yeah, absolutely. We're hoping that you're back to full fitness in the next couple of weeks. St Johnstone against. Did you give a prediction, Charlie? Aberdeen?
Yeah, I said 2-0 Aberdeen.
2-0. St Johnstone against Hibs. St Johnstone 8th at the moment, 5 points off the top 6. Have they left it too late on this one, Roughie?
Yeah, I think they have. I think Hibs have got more to play for tomorrow. Obviously, with Aberdeen just behind them. I think Hibs need to go there just to get a win. I think it'll be very, very narrow. I think the St Johnstone midweek game against Hamilton might take a wee bit out of them for this one. So I'm going to go for an away win with Hibs. I'm going to go Hibs to win 2-1.
Tam?
I think it'll be a tough game for Hibs. Listen, it depends what Hibs turn up, to be honest. I'm going up to Perth tomorrow to the game, and if it's the team that turned up against Motherwell, St Johnstone will beat them comfortably. If it's a team that won 4 games in a row before that, they'll probably get a result. So I don't know which Hibs team is going to turn up. So I'm going to sit in the fence. I'm going to hope that Hibs win. But I'm on the predictor. I'm going to go for 1-1.
Yep, I'm with you on that, Tam. I've got St Johnstone 1, Hibs 1, and of course, I'm sure Callum Davison would like all 3 points because he does want to finish strongly in this league.
I put pressure on myself. I put pressure on the team. I want to be successful, want to succeed. So, even if we don't get there, I want to finish 7th. So I think that's where how I look at it. I think that's where the players look at it as well. So, for me, it's finishing high up league as you can. The cup's a massive bonus for myself and the players in the club. But again, for me, it's finishing high up as league we can.
Yeah. Can you put your finger on, Tam, what's gone wrong or what the mistakes that have been made with this Hibs side at the moment? I mean, how do the Hibs fans view Jack Ross? It's a kind of a stop-start. Just when you think you're going on a run and things are going to look really good, there's the odd blip here and there, but you're still in 3rd place. I
think the majority are right behind Jack Ross and they realise what a good job he's done. I think the 2 semi-final games, it hurt him. It hurt his credit with the Hibs supporters. Getting beat off of Hearts, getting beat off of St Johnstone, I think was disastrous for the club. But I think this season, if Hibs can finish 3rd, I think everybody at Easter Road will be happy. I think it'll be a good season. There's still a bit of work to be done, but I think that the players that Jack's brought in over the piece have been very, very good. And I think next season, if he can get Jackson Irvine tied down as well, and keep a hold of Nisbet and Porteous and stuff like that, then I think they'll be stronger again next season. But this season's all about finishing 3rd, and I think if Hibs don't finish 3rd this season, it'll be a big disappointment now because of basically Hibs have been in 3rd place all season, and they need to go and finish the job now.
Yeah, of course, Jack Ross himself has mentioned that the best results for the Hibbies have come at Easter Road.
I think if you look at the pattern in the season for us, I think in the main our better results and performances have been in games that the opposition comes on to us more. I think that even at the weekend we had a large chunk of possession against Motherwell, and some of those home games when we've had that we haven't performed as well. And I think away from home our record's been good.
Is that a fair assessment, Tam, of what the problem's been?
Yeah, absolutely spot on. I think I said this during the week. Hibs are well suited to playing away from home. Teams have got to go and attack them and be on the front foot at home. You've got to go and try and win the games at home, and it suits Hibs to sit in and hit the counter attack with the likes of Boyle and Jackson Irvine and Nisbet. So I think it's ideal. But tomorrow they have to go and play well to beat St Johnstone, who are very, very strong at the back and who turned them over properly in the League Cup semi-final.
So why is it? Why is it so hard at home then? Is that because they've not got players that can open a door with a pass, or because they've got Stevie Mallins was a top player when he was there? Like you could see a pass and things like that. So how is it so difficult to play at home? I think it should be the other way. It should be easier to play at home if you have another.
I think when teams sit in at home against Hibs and Hibs find it difficult to break them down. I think they've obviously missed Scott Allen this season massively.
But I don't really think they've got that. That's your recruitment equality then, huh? You've not got footballer players where you might have, like you say, Jackson Irvine. He's no technically football player. He's more of a runner and he can get in around the pitch. But when you're at home, you need a Stevie Malin who can keep the ball for you, open it up, get it wide, put it back. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's a decision that as a management team, then you go looking, probably we've not got enough footballers in our team at home or in the squad.
Yep, yeah, possibly right. Yep, but I just think away from home, with the pace that Hibs have got on the counter-attacks, particularly Martin Boyle, anything over the top, when teams play a high line at home and squeeze up, anything over the top, Martin Boyle's onto like a flash, and he can't do that at home. He's been playing up front because defences, when they come to Easter Road, seem to sit a bit deeper. He's got no space to work. So I think that Jack's right, but they've got to go and prove it again tomorrow and get a result.
Motherwell against Livingston. Motherwell 7 points off the top 6, Roughie. I think they, this season, are just looking at it and thinking to themselves, just stay away from the relegation, because they were in deep trouble at one point a couple of months ago.
Yeah, they certainly were. With the new manager coming in, he got a wee spin for a couple of games, and then they went off the rails a wee bit, and they were getting a wee bit near the bottom side of it. So I think he privately will be saying to himself, "Is next year that I'm going to make Motherwell back to where they were." So this year's just about getting out of it and finishing possibly with some wins, and just keeping the fans on board, because it has been a poor year by Motherwell standard. I think we all talked about them at the beginning of the season, at least been up there in the top 6 for most of the year, but that hasn't been the case. So, no, for me, it's next year for Motherwell, and just get this one out the road.
Yeah, and against Livingston, good battle against Rangers, but slightly gone off the rails, Charlie, in the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, I think that's normal. If you look at what they produced in the middle part of the season since David Martindale took over, it was phenomenal to go that record and amount of unbeaten games and winning football matches. So fair play to them. They're having a little dip, and that's that is normal. They're in no doubt of getting relegated. They'll be looking to push on and get into that 5th place quickly as possible. And if you could wrap that up, then it's been a good season. Cup final for Livingston, and if they can finish 5th, then it'll be a good season, and they'll look forward to next season now.
Yeah, one I've got as far as this game's concerned, Motherwell against Livingston. Although I just read there on Facebook, I'm not too happy about it, Roughie. Paul Rogue or Paul Rog, not quite sure the pronunciation, said, why would anyone want to live or go to Motherwell? I think I might need to bring the fireworks out, Roughie, and have a quick nip round to Paul Rogue's house just to have a wee quiet word with him. If you're lucky enough to be born in this area, Roughie, there are some special people who have been born in this area and have gone on to play football at the highest level.
Yeah, it's a massive area for people who have come on, Scotland and England as well, moved into England and be very, very successful right through the years, even away back in the 70s and 80s. It was a big catch, the Motherwell area, to take players down to England. So, no, I don't know where he's coming from with that one.
Yeah, Paul, there's very few people are lucky enough to be born in the Lanarkshire area. It's as simple as that. That's all I'm saying to you. Look at Charlie trying to just check, keep a straight face on it. But anyway, apart from anything else, let's go to Ross. Did you give a scoreline, Tam, on Motherwell Livy? I've got 1-1.
No. My bet of the weekend is Motherwell. I think I really fancy them. I fancy them to win 2-1. But I think Motherwell need a result, Peter. Because see, when it goes into the bottom 6 and they play against each other, I was at Dundee, and I think we picked up 2 points from the split, and we went down the last game of the season. We needed 1-1. So I still think that Motherwell will need a win for somewhere just to make sure. So I'll go for 2-1 tomorrow.
Roughie?
I've went 1-0 Motherwell.
Yeah, Charlie?
I'll go 1-1.
Yeah, well done to Ian Noble, who regularly posts messages to us. He's a big Aberdeen fan. He says Motherwell was good when Tea in the Park was there. Tea in the Park was a big festival where people were allowed out of their houses and they were allowed to sing songs, Tam, just in case you were wondering what it was. Anyway, Ross County against Killie. Ross County are still not out of it, Tam, despite the fact that people thought that Yogi would get in there and make a difference. He's battling away. He wants to try and get his own side in there, but they're going to have to really battle it out in that bottom 6 when they all go head to head.
Yeah, this is an enormous game for both clubs. You look at the league table just now; it's so tight at the bottom between the two of them and Hamilton. So I think it's huge. I think it'll be very, very tight, very, very nervy. But I've just got a feeling that Kilmarnock will win it. I seen their performance last week against Dundee United. Excellent. Kyle Lafferty was outstanding. Could have had 2 or 3 goals. I think he'll make a big difference to Kilmarnock. They've always been very hard to break down, but I think they'll get a goal tomorrow, and I think they'll win 1-0.
Oh, there's a difference of opinion here, Roughie. At the top end, he's gone 1-0, and I've gone Ross County to win 1-0 up there at Dingwall. What about you?
I think I've sat in the middle again. I think John Hughes will be obviously telling these players about the rerun the Celtic game as often as possible this week and let them know what they can do. But I agree with Tam. I think Kilmarnock looked as if they were getting back. There were certain players looked as if they'd upped their game a wee bit, but I still can't split either of the two of them. I think it'll have to come up with something special for somebody to win this game. So I'm going to sit in the fence and go 1 each.
Charlie?
Yeah, it's going to be a nervy occasion. I'm going to go 0-0.
Okay, there you are. So maybe a bonus that fans can't get into that one, the way Charlie's looking at it. I always get worried when there's a dreaded vote of confidence. Still a long way to go in the season. He's only been there 8 months. Robbie Nielsen says he's not worried that he's got that vote of confidence from Anne Budge. It doesn't concern him at all. They're 12 points clear at the top of low. If Wraith Rovers get their act together, Tam, they will know all about it.
Yep, I'm not surprised, Peter. The performances I've been putting in. I don't watch Hearts every week, but I watch them when they're on BBC on a Friday night. And the last 3 games I've watched have been terrible. They've been really, really poor. And big game tomorrow against my old team Dundee. If Dundee can go there and get a win, the pressure will be massive on Robbie Nielsen. I don't care if he's top of the league. If Dundee go there and beat them tomorrow, I think he'll be under severe pressure. But he's top of the league. He'll probably argue that. I'm not doing a lot wrong, but I just think the performances, Peter, the squad they've got, the budget they've got, the money they've got, the advantage they've got of the rest of the teams, they should be playing a lot better. So I think he's rightfully under a wee bit of P. Yeah,
Steven Naismith, Charlie, was on yesterday, and he mentioned the fact that maybe some players in the team are it's not that they're taking it all for granted. They're maybe looking for other players that are special in the team to go and win them the game rather than everybody contributing. And some players have struggled to actually hit the ground running.
It does, and it happens. You're probably looking at, other people going like Mackay Stevens, thinking about what he's done before, and he's coming from America, trying to settle into a new club. Boyce has missed a little bit this season, but scored over 10, 12 goals. Nazy's contributed as well, but he's at an age where he can't play every week and he can't be a dominant force in the team every week. So I just think Hearts, they've got good players, but when you boil it down, I don't think they could find a way of playing the best formation. For me, Andy Irvin's the best midfielder, and he doesn't play regular enough. So you have to try and find a solution. I think he's a very good footballer. And I think you're a better team when he's in the team, but he doesn't play enough. It's either Halliday or Nazy will play centre midfield. So they've got to try and find that way of going and getting the pressure off and trying to win football matches. But we'll go there tomorrow. I think we'll get after them because of what we've done at home in the new year. We put pressure on them, and I think when you put pressure on Hearts, it's there's a bit of a nervy time there, and the pressure's on them because of what they've spent and what they keep going. So that'll be an interesting one tomorrow.
Yeah, Neil Gray says Charlie never gave his prediction for St Johnstone Hibs. Did you?
Yeah, never. I fancy Hibs to win 2-1.
Okay. Another little story that broke in the last hour, Roughie, that I thought I'd mention. Stephen Gerrard gets a 1-game ban for that. Obviously, red card in the match against Livingston for the penalty that wasn't awarded. The hearing's on March 25th, but he's got until March 10th to respond to that. 1-game ban?
Yeah, I think he'll just take it. I think according to what he was saying after the game, he'll be quite happy to take it and move on. There's bigger things to fry, and don't let that get in the way of any celebrations, because if he contests that, then it's another story. And it's a story they won't want to deal with. They'll just want to deal with all the good things that's happening at the club. And I think the one game ban obviously depends on what he actually said to the referee. I think that probably had a lot to do with it, because if it had been really, really serious, it would have been more than one game. So I think he'll just take the attitude of let's just take it and move on.
Yeah. Sometimes stories come out, and I'm almost certain that they come out just to try and somebody puts it out there as a wee bit of skullduggery, Tam. Of course, there was a story which suggested that maybe Scotland wouldn't have, and Glasgow in particular, wouldn't have some of the Euro games because obviously there are no fans back in the grounds yet. I don't know if it was one of those stories just to try and turn the screw on the First Minister, but she's come out and says she's intent on having Hampden as one of the host stadiums. And she's going to make sure that it happens. And of course, she says it's too early to say for certain if fans will be allowed into any stadium. I think it's a fair point. I just think somebody put that out there just to try and crank it up.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of agendas at stake, in terms of politics here. I don't want to get into it. It's not my bag, but I think there will be. I think the Hampden will be fine. I think we'll have supporters in. I think the First Minister will try everything she can, because it'll bring revenue into the city, into Scotland, and I think she'll want fans in there to give everyone a break as well. Because it's been a terrible time for the last year, and I think fans going to games and Scotland playing at Hampden, I think we give everyone such a massive lift, and she appreciates that as well. So I think that, as you said, every country's in the same position. Nobody can guarantee anything with this COVID, so we've just got to play it by ear. But I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be parked outside in the PLZ van doing the commentary for the Scotland game.
Yeah. Charlie, IFAB have come out and confirmed that there's going to be a change to the handball law that's been causing so much consternation. So a handball in the build-up to a goal will no longer be an offence. Accidental handball, that is. Handball will only be awarded when a player deliberately touches the ball. If the ball touches arm-hand when the body is in an unnatural position, and if a goal comes directly from the hand of a player, that should come into effect in July 1st. But they've obviously said, look, any of the associations who want to implement it now can do so. What's your take on that?
Well, they need to do something. That rule last night for the lad Lamina for Fulham it's incredible. He's 2 yards away and he has a shot and it hits him in the arm, and there's nothing he can do, and they get a goal, and that could be the difference between staying up and going down. So they have to make a decision, and they have to change the rule. The rules, I don't know what the rules are and what you can and can't do. So it is difficult, but if they at least they're being active with it, and if they feel there is an issue and they want to change it, then it's all for the good.
Yeah, they're constantly at times changing the rules, Roughie. Rules that were perfectly workable, acceptable, but now we have a situation. I mean, I think Chelsea could have had the lead earlier than they did last night against Liverpool, but suddenly you're looking and you're seeing just a fraction of an arm that suddenly puts it in an offside position, and Chelsea are denied what for me looked a perfectly good goal.
Yeah. I still don't understand, why we got away from deliberate handball. Somebody sticks their hand out deliberately, it's a penalty. There are too many instances and too many inconsistencies of Izzy's arm in an unnatural position. How far away is he when it hit a hand? There's too many ifs and buts, that the referees can't decide, 100% and all agree. So deliberate handball for me is the only way to solve this. I mean, these rules that you read out there, I'm still none the wiser. The way that it was portrayed as what you said there at the beginning, I'm still not any clearer, and I'm sure a lot of players will be the same.
Well, let me clear it up for you based on the kind of year that you've had, Roughie. If any of the Partick Thistle players, when you're back playing, handle the ball, you'll be relegated to League Two. Is that clear?
Well, that's part of the course anyway. So you know how you bring that rule. That rule's in already. That
there we go.
Oh, God, there we go.
Hey, Roughie, I mean, it's good though. The boys are back training. That's good news, isn't it?
Oh, it's great news for the players. We had Ian McCall on last night at the board meeting, and all the boys could. That was quite an important one. Everybody reported back the other day, and every player was negative. I'm just wondering how many players will come back from been away for 2 months and have, when they get tested, it'll be interesting to see. And I'm sure the players have all done their best to be negative, but I'm sure we see the Dunfermline game off and things like that. So it's still about there. So no, I think the players are back training. I think we're training at 12 o'clock today, and they'll take it from there. And obviously Ian's given us a list of players that he wants to bring in for now at the end of the season.
Roughie,
so we'll wait and see.
I was going to say that, is the transfer window still open? Was a special discount?
Yeah, you can identify players from other leagues or loan players or whatever. So no, it's because it was suspended and we never got the window. They've got to give you some part. So
yeah,
but I think Ian's taking the mickey. I think he's looking for a big window.
Is there is the barbers and that still open up in Maryhill? Because I've seen a few of the lads had new haircuts and that for coming back first day.
Is that right? I don't know anything about that. No.
One or two got nice new fresh haircuts.
Anyway, it's a hairdressers. It's a hairdressers in Maryhill. Maybe a barber's in Dundee. It's a hairdresser's or a saloon or a salon.
a saloon. Yeah, I think you got that right, Roughie. It is a saloon. Anyway, and Alec Kelly says, Roughie, is that your wife barking at you? You see, people listen to the show, they watch it, they hear things in the background as well. It's amazing what they listen to. Good line, Alec. As far as last night was concerned, I mean, I don't know about you guys. Listen, the one thing I've known about the 21st century, no manager's safe, even if you've had a fantastic season. But this has been a monumental collapse as far as Liverpool are concerned. And I'll tell you, I thought last night, Charlie, it just shows you the power of players. Mo Salah's agent putting out tweets and Mo Salah not happy about being substituted. Suddenly they're asking questions of the manager's decisions.
Yeah, I just feel that Liverpool are off it. They just don't look sharp. They just look a couple of yards off it. And when you're at that level, competing that they've been at, for the last 3 or 4 years, is it taking its toll? I'm not too sure. It's just they're going through a tough period, and they have to find a solution. And that's why Jurgen, is one of the best managers in the world. He has to find the solution as the manager of the football club. So it's not like he's going to walk away or he's going to get sacked. I just think that Salah sometimes, I think he has to have a look at himself. I think there is something going on with Mane and Salah. It's plain to see, and we have to get to the bottom of it because it's not healthy for the team.
Yeah, of course, the manager himself says Liverpool just not resilient enough.
These games are decided in moments. We're always like this, and to get these moments back, you have to fight. And in some moments, you have to fight on a different level as well. And that's why, that's what I told the boys. It's not about, in these moments, it's not about tactics or something like that. It's then really about being resilient. It's about heart, all these kind of things.
Yeah, the worrying thing for Liverpool fans, though, Tam, is apparently, Klopp has already admitted that if they don't get the Champions League in that top 4, they might not be able to sign some top players that they've got on their list.
Yeah, I think they're struggling now for the top 4, Peter. You look at, Everton are flying, West Ham, Leicester, Chelsea are now above them. Tuchel's done a brilliant job at Chelsea, so they're up against it for the top 4. It might be that they have to win the Champions League to get into the Champions League again next season, which is a big ask when you look at Man City and Bayern Munich. So, yeah, tough times at Liverpool. They're really struggling at home. I think that's 4 games in a row they've not scored a goal at home. I don't think that couldn't have happened ever in their history. To be honest, so really, really tough times at the minute. And whatever's, as Charlie says, Mane and Salah, whatever's going wrong between the two, the front 3 don't look at it. They're not pressing the game as much as they've done in the past. So maybe a few egos need to get put in check.
Yep, here's a good line that I think is fair comment. Just quickly before we get this line from Neil Gray, what's your thoughts, guys? City United. I think City will win it with a couple of goals to spare, Tam.
0-0.
Oh, 0-0. Good point, actually. Reminds me, I'm not going to watch it. United have managed to bore the pants off me for the last 2 weeks.
Horrendous.
I think City are unstoppable. I think this could be a 3 or 4-0 jobber. I think City could dominate. I just think they're the best team in Europe and they're the best team in England at the moment.
Yeah, Roughie, we've let you start and finish the way you started, which is you've listened to everybody else give their opinion and their score prediction. What do you think?
I don't think it'll be 4-0. I think Man City will win the game. I think they are flying just now. Big players, you know. I would say maybe 2-0.
Yeah, okay. Neil Gray says, Peter, what is the thoughts of you and the panel that Sunday will see 1 year since fans were in full capacity watching football live for the last time? Who would have thought 1 year on fans would be watching still football from their home? It's hard to believe, Tam, that it'll be a year. I didn't think it was going to go that long, but boy, it's been a long year.
Christ, we were talking about coming back in a couple of months. Remember, we were thinking about crowds in towards the end of the season. I think we underestimated this COVID, everybody. And listen, to be fair, it got me a gig at Hibs TV, so I'm not going to complain. But hopefully the fans are back in soon.
Yeah, well, absolutely. You know, every cloud has a silver lining. Just wonder if out of lockdown, Roughie, they eventually bump him off Hibs TV and then go for somebody else. I certainly hope not. He's been a breath of fresh air on that programme.
Yeah, well, I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I've heard, I've seen some people making comments on it, and it's all positive. So, yeah, you're right. You know that he's done particularly well.
Yep, he has. He's done really well. I've had many a time.
I'm just waiting for him to slaughter there.
No, will I watch Man United? Will I watch Man United, Charlie, or will I watch Tam McManus? You know, there's only one option really. You've just got to listen to him and get the insight that he gives you.
Obviously, you know that Hibs have put in that big satellite at his house for him to watch all the games in the Premier League, and that, so he gets for his notes and that. So he's obviously he's earned the new satellite as well. But no, listen, he's done well.
We did think because we did think that once he was in there, he would maybe call on some of his friends, you know, to come in, one day and maybe help out. You know, you would have thought being a Hibs Hall of Famer,
I did mention you for Hibs TV.
Come in and be a guest,
Roughie.
you know.
Yeah,
I did mention you were asking for ex-Hibs players, and I said to get Big Roughie in. I don't know about a fee. I don't know if there's a fee, but I'll find out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll tell you, it just shows you how desperate things are when Roughie's touting for business on the programme.
He's desperate.
That's incredible.
just try to help the figures.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, Roughie. Listen, apart from anything else, always good to read out some of the comments. Thank you very much across YouTube and Facebook. Don't forget you can follow us, hit the follow button on our Facebook page and share the stream if you get a chance. We'd be really indebted to you for doing that. And if you're on our YouTube channel, you can subscribe. You can get it on Twitter as well. We've got a competition on PLZ Soccer's Facebook channel. It's a chance for you on the page. If you look at the top, you can win yourself an iPad, an Xbox, and a Diego Maradona canvas. All you have to do is follow the instructions, answer the question, register your details, and we'll have the winner at the end of this month. You'll pick up all three prizes in the PLZ hat-trick competition. So, good to see Charlie back on the mend. Enjoy your football this weekend. Of course, we are getting to the end of the season. Who'd have thought that the season would be well and truly wrapped up either this weekend or over the next week? We will see Rangers crowned champions. We will be discussing the performances of all the teams in the SPFL on Monday's programme. Hopefully you can join us then. But from Roughie, from Tam McManus and Charlie Adam and myself, Peter Martin, thank you for watching.
Expect the best used car deals